Hey everybody, I'm going to show you how to make a really super simple dinner. It's a Cajun staple down here. It's smothered potatoes with smoked sausage, a little bit of onions and garlic. It's so soulfully pleasing and warming. I mean, this is just going to be like the best and simplest dinner that you've ever made. You can throw it together in no time flat. So in my cast iron or any large skillet that you have, you want to go ahead and put about 2 or 3 tablespoons of bacon grease or olive oil, or you can even do a mixture of it. I actually have some bacon grease right here that's already melted down and rendered, and I'm just going to put a splash of olive oil because it just adds a little extra richness to it. But this dish is going to be pretty doggone rich, which is awesome. I have half of a yellow onion right here that I still kept the hairy tip on right there, and that's going to be like my anchor to hold it together. I just want to thinly slice this onion, and what I'm going to do is slice it but not go completely through to the backside of the onion, and I'm going to show you how to make this into the easiest slices possible. Okay, so once you've got your onions already sliced, you can see they still kind of hold on together, right? I'm going to go ahead and cut that hairy tip off, and look at that, perfectly sliced onions, just like this. Okay, so I'm going to kind of break them up a little bit and put them into my pan of grease. Oh, it's a little bit hot. So I'm just going to slide this back into a cooler burner. There we go. The onions are in the pan now, and they're going to start to sizzle and brown up just a little bit. I'm going to get my wooden spoon. And I just want to get them really nicely caramelized, and it's going to give the dish kind of a little bit of a sweet note to it, which is going to complement the smokiness of the sausage, you know, really, really well. Just want to get these guys sizzling a little bit on medium-low heat. I'm going to put just a little tiny pinch of salt. And the salt is actually going to help to caramelize the onions a little bit better. It's going to draw out a little bit more moisture. Okay, so I'm going to cook these guys for about 5 minutes until they're really translucent and tender, super tender. All right, while the onions are doing their thing, I'm going to go ahead and get started on the potatoes. Now I have 4 peeled potatoes. They're kind of medium size, and they're all about the same size. So I'm not making a huge dish for a huge crowd. This will serve 2 people, maybe 3. Depends on, you know, if it's a side dish or if it's a main entree. It's totally up to you. Oh, I see the onions are browning a little bit, so I'll stir those guys. All right, so when I have the potatoes cut in pretty uniform pieces, okay, so I just want to roughly dice the potatoes like this. See right here? Some of them are going to be just a little bit smaller pieces than the rest, and that's okay. That's fine, because the smaller pieces are going to kind of dissolve and help to create a little bit of a sauce, and the bigger pieces are going to go ahead and give it more substance and texture. All right, it's been 5 minutes, and the onions are caramelizing beautifully. All right, so what I want to do now is put about half a tablespoon of minced garlic in my pan, and if you don't have, you know, like jarred minced garlic, that's okay. Like 1 or 2 little cloves should do just the trick. All right, so we got the garlic in. Give it a little stir. And once it starts becoming aromatic, it's safe to go ahead and add any other ingredients. Oh, and I can smell it now. All right, here we go. My 4 cubed potatoes. Right there. Beautiful. All right. I'm going to turn the heat up just a little bit to medium high. And I want to get just like a crisping on the potatoes. We're going to let those guys chill for about 10 minutes. And what we're going to do is slice up our sausage. Now I have a pound of smoked sausage right here. It's already cooked. It's nicely smoked. It's pretty lean too. So I just want to use half of this. So I'm going to go ahead and dice it up into little pieces. Now during the 10 minutes that the potatoes are cooking, you want to go ahead and give them a little stir. Because we do want the char on the bottom. We want them to caramelize a little bit, but we don't want them to burn. If they start to stick, perfect. That's what we look for. It's been 10 minutes, and I have been stirring the potatoes pretty regularly, and you can see all of the pieces here that are getting super, super brown. All right, this is going to be a perfect time to season up my dish with my gunpowder seasoning. And you can use salt and pepper. I mean, if you're interested in the gunpowder, I highly recommend it. Let me know, hit me up. I've got plenty and I'm happy to share. So I'm going to put about a tablespoon of gunpowder seasoning in my dish. There we go. Just like that. I'm going to mix it up really well. God, that aroma is just intoxicating. I can smell the smokiness from the bacon. I can also smell the spices from the gunpowder, the salt, the pepper, the onions even that we put in here. The beautiful caramelization, and look at that color. Okay. This is also going to be a fantastic time to put in our sausage. Get even more flavor and more color on that. Now, as I'm mixing, I can see the bottom of my pan is looking a little bit dry, so I want to hit it with just a little more olive oil. I'll put about a tablespoon on top of it right there. Beautiful. And I want to let this sear while we're mixing it up. Ooh, little casualty. So just let it fry a little while you mix it for about 2 minutes. So now is a good time to adjust your seasoning if needed. If you want more spice, we can add more spice. The potatoes are pretty tender, so I want to get a piece. Yeah, this little piece looks good right there. That little guy. Ooh. That's really very good. Personally, I think it needs just a little more heat. So I'm going to add about another teaspoon of spice. There we go. Sweet and smoky, a little bit spicy. You just smell it. Look at that beautiful color. Can you see that? You can probably almost taste it too, right? Give it another taste. That's the magical bite. It's not the spice that got me, it's the heat from the pan. All right, so here's where we're gonna start to smother. Now, if you have chicken stock, perfect, use chicken stock. If you don't, you can use water, that's no problem. Be sure and adjust your seasonings accordingly. I'm gonna turn the heat down to medium-low. And since I'm making this dish on a whim, and I didn't even think about getting chicken stock out of the freezer in order to put it in here, I'm gonna go with beer, okay? No problem, nothing wrong with that. Ooh, that one came off easy. And if you can drink it, you can cook with it, so. Pretty good. You might wanna taste it before you put it because each beer has a different one, and since this is a darker bottle, it's a darker brew, it's a little bit more stout. So I'm only gonna put about 1/3 of a cup. There we go. Give it a good stir, and the alcohol is going to cook out. So being that it was such a strong brew, I want to cut it with water. So I'm going to put 1/4 cup of water. There we go. And no matter what liquid you're using, be sure and taste it. Always taste. Let's find a little piece of potato. There we go, right there. Get a little bit of liquid as well. That'll do. All right. So now I'm turning it all the way down to low, getting a lid. Something that'll fit. That'll do. And I'm going to let this cook on low temperature for about 10 minutes, stirring it occasionally, making sure that anything that sticks to the bottom is going to be mixed in and flavor incorporated, right? Okay, give it about 10 minutes, check on it occasionally. Dinner's almost done. It's been 10 minutes and the aroma is just knocking me off my feet. Seriously, look at this. There's still a little bit of liquid in there, but as promised, some of the potatoes have broken up a little bit and created a really super rich kind of sauce. Oh man, this is amazing. Okay, time for the final taste. I want to get some of the mashed potatoes there. A little bit of sausage, piece of onion, here we go. Look at that color. It's a very rustic dish. It's very homey. It's very, very Cajun. Mm. Woo! That is hot. Oh my God. It's coming from a steaming pan. It's gonna be hot. All right. Here we go, Cajun-styled southern smothered potatoes with smoked sausage. This is such a hearty, homey dish. This is gonna warm you from the inside out, heart and soul. This is just a must-have. Super simple weeknight dinner, simple lunch, anytime, day or night. Gray, cloudy day like today, it's perfect. All right, guys, this is Keisha at Kitchen Bravo. I'm about to serve myself up a nice big plate of this and enjoy, and I hope you do too. All right, guys, enjoy.